So welcome back to another episode of Off&Moon Monsters. So in the previous episode, according to you guys, I believe that this was like a bit of a one-off arc, at least for now, which is interesting. So obviously what we established, the reason I said that is because what we established in the previous episode, it started off with Ononoki basically saying that she wants to defeat the immortal phoenix because it's kind of like the accelerator for all of the events happening in the city, and it makes all of the events go out of control in a sense because it accelerates them to the point where they become chaotic. And she wanted that's why she's observing the phoenix, right? That's why she's infiltrated the home and she's pretending to be a doll. And then Tsukihi noticed that, well, she's not a doll because she saw her eating the ice cream, and obviously Ononoki had to come up with this insane plan to, you know, make Tsukihi think that, oh no, she's actually just a soul of a magical girl who's possessing this doll, and now she has to defeat a monster, which she ended up using the slug for. And by defeating that monster, she's gonna go back to being a doll. She did that, and then the same thing happened again because we found out that Tsukihi, actually her phoenix, also heals all of the mental scars on Tsukihi's heart, which that means it just erases all of her traumatic memories, which means she can never change, she can never learn, she can never grow mentally because she will never experience any kind of negative emotion. So that means that everything that she does is kind of like almost a loop, right? It's an infinite loop. So that was kind of like established in the previous arc, I guess, mini arc, but there are still things that haven't been established with the Phoenix. So I know that Ougi Oshino is still, I think he's still writing more of like the Monogatari stories. So I hope that, I don't know if it's gonna be, because I believe that there are a few arcs in this Off&Moon Monster, right? So I don't know if it's gonna be addressed in further arcs in this season or if it's gonna be addressed at some point in the future. I just hope they address the Phoenix situation again because obviously Ononoki still is trying to get rid of the Phoenix, and also there's still the question that I had all the way back when was it? Was it Nademonogatari? I believe so. When they first talked about the Phoenix and stuff like that, where they said, or I was talking about, why did it appear though? Why did it choose to appear in Nadeko's mom and stuff like that? What was the reason behind it? Because all of the oddities have some kind of like reasoning, or like they are somehow connected to like the mentality or stuff like that. So, and you guys in the comments back then said that it's the reason that why we don't know about like the entire, you know, the reason why we don't know why the Phoenix decided to go there is because we don't know basically anything about Tsukihi's mom and stuff like that, and she's the one who got the oddity, who then became Tsukihi. So, you know, it would probably be tied to Tsukihi's mom, not necessarily Tsukihi, which means that I hope we just see something more about the Phoenix, you know. That's my I guess my wish for it. So I guess the mini arc ended with the lesson, or not the lesson, but the punchline of Tsukihi never learning anything and being kind of like in a loop because of that, right? So that was honestly really interesting. I did talk about a bit like how that reflects on the entire glass or mirror world situation, right? That makes a lot of sense. It makes sense why her character was so much like the same in the mirror world as it was in the real world, right? Because she can't actually have anything repressed because of that property of hers, which is really interesting. So okay, next thing, I talked about the replacement for this anime, so I'm gonna be taking recommendations for honestly like probably until like episode 9 or so, so like 2 more weeks. So I saw all of your guys' recommendations, and I'm writing them down, or I'm noting them down so I can see like what you guys recommend. A lot of Ougi Oshino, which obviously fair enough, so, and some of the other ones as well. So yeah, I am taking note of that, but I'm gonna leave some time for you guys to, you know, if anyone else joins later, they can still comment on it. So probably around after episode 9, I'm gonna gather up all of the recommendations, put out a poll on the channel that's gonna be where you guys are gonna vote for what should be replacing this. Yeah, as I said, it doesn't have to be at all like the Monogatari series. It can be something completely different. This is not genre specific at all, like this time slot, I guess, but I have a feeling that obviously, judging by the current recommendations, most of it is gonna be kind of similar. But yeah, either way. Oh yeah, another thing is, I saw some recommendations for anime that have very heavy copyrights around them, and those are gonna be the ones that I'm gonna be more so putting in the Patreon exclusive ones. Those are things like Uma Musume. I saw recommendations for that. That's gonna be a Patreon exclusive eventually for sure. Gurren Lagann, that's for sure gonna be a Patreon exclusive. The music around that is harsh. And there are some other ones. So yeah, those are gonna be Patreon exclusive at some point. But yeah, either way, is there anything else? I feel like there was something else I wanted to talk about, but I can't remember it right now off the top of my head. Oh yeah, the animation. The animation in the previous episode, Jesus Christ, shafts are always insane, and I don't know how the original web version compares. I don't know if the Blu-ray versions changed a lot, but this looked fantastic. Like, they've leveled up a lot. Like, they've always been great, but this is just insane. We've seen what they can do with, like, Kizumonogatari, right? That was also insane. But this is, wow, incredible. But yeah, I'm so excited to see what's gonna be the next arc, I guess, of the season. Let's see it. So, if you want to watch this uncut and unblurred, it's gonna be on my Patreon, which is down in the description. And without further ado, let's go into Off&Monster episode 2. This episode is a lot shorter, like 10 minutes shorter. Nadeko! That's an understatement. What a goated line, man. Interesting. Wait, is that gonna be an opening? I don't know. Is that gonna be an opening for this one? I guess we'll see. So it's a Sengoku Nadeko arc. I am so excited for this because Nadeko is definitely one of my favorite characters. Top two, up there with Senju I prefer Senju as, like, you know, I just like her more, but as a character, I think Sengoku Nadeko might be, like, my favorite, like, best written. Oh, actually, shoot, that's hard because Hanekawa is up there when it comes to, like, best written as well. I don't know. Either way, I love Nadeko. I really like that line because I feel like that's one of those things that I know I'm going on a rant very early on. That's one of those things where I've talked about so many times. People change a lot, and there's no such thing as true self and stuff like that. So I really like that they are once again explicitly saying it, right? They're like, it would be more weird if you stayed the same throughout all of the events happening. And it's very normal that you're inconsistent, especially at this age. You know, after you've gone through so many different experiences. So that's like one of my pet peeves in, like, anime and stuff like that, is when I talked about it so many times. I'm not gonna go into it again. You guys know my thoughts on, like, true self and stuff like that, right? People change a lot. People can 180 a lot. I 180'd, like, multiple times in my life. Which one? Which one? Yep, I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. Wow! Oh my god! Oh my... Yo! Oh! Oya oya? Hmm? It's not a hajime mashite. It's not a Hajime Mashite. Yes. Yup. Otori Monogatari. No! That's fair. Yeah, that's fair. They look so tiny right now. He whose name will not be repeated. Yeah. He who shall not be named anymore. It's like a BMX. Oh, she's preparing herself to go to school. Wait. Kana Hanazawa. Oh, yeah. Mastering something, right? Yep. 10,000 hours. Aw. Abridged. That's a lot of approximation. Yeah. That's 3 years then. Yep. Equal. Yeah, we know that she has a fantastic family, don't we? Yep. Whoa, snail. That's cute. You know what? This is gonna be a weird comparison, but this reminds me a little bit of Look Back. If you've seen the movie Look Back, it kind of reminds me of that.
面目な話、その辺はちゃんと考えた方がいいんじゃないかな。僕はお前の努力が無駄だとは思わないけれど、ましてバカなお前のやってることがバカなことだとは思わないけれど、実際問題、努力は有料なんだよ。
True.
犠牲や代償を払ってするものだ。
Yep. Ah, come on.
故に義務教育である中学校の卒業を一つの基準にするというのは、親としては真っ当だ。むしろ独立しろと追い出さないところは、まだパパとママは甘いとも言えるよ。
I don't like that.
1万時間の法則っていうのは、僕は眉唾だと思っている。
That feels like a bit of victim blaming there.
パッとできちゃったりするし。今の私にできることは、お父さんとお母さんを説得するためにも、中学校を卒業するまでにどうにか一定の成果を上げることだよ。賞を取るなりなんなりね。やれやれ、賞レースへの参戦宣言か。皮肉なものだね。戦場ヶ原下着に対して高校の卒業式までという期限を切っていたお前なのに、今度は自分がそのタイムリミットに迫られることになるなんて。
Yep.
自業自得ですとも。笑わば笑えですよ。報いは受けるべきで。
Oh, poor thing.
どうしてもって言うなら、簡単に成果を上げる方法はあるけどね。戦国の
No.
さっきから聞いている限り、お前の悩みは
No, 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 no.
そうだけど。だから方法はある。要するに、お前が中学生デビューしてしまえばいいんだろう。まあ。方法は2つある。2つも片方は決しておすすめではないけれどね。教えて、おののきちゃん。一つは、次の完成原稿にお前の顔写真を貼った上で投稿。
No, don't do that. Nope.
そうすれば編集部がお前を美少女漫画家として祭り上げてくれることだろう。
Bad idea.
あるいは、これまで匿名で投稿していたインターネットの投稿サイトで身分素性を明かすんだね。お前の
No.
ドラマチックな人生は作品を実際以上に輝かせて見せてくれるに違いない。
Honestly, actually, without the photos,
じゃあ
I'm not that against it.
2つ目の方法をプレゼンしよう。
Sympathy baiting?
戦国なでこ、僕がおすすめしない片方というのは2つ目の方なんだよ。
Uh-oh.
僕としてはこれはやるべきじゃないと思う。だけど方法はもうこれしかない。これしかないって。残り1年でお前が1万時間の努力をすればいいんだよ。いやいやいやいや、無理無理無理無理。
Yeah.
そう、そこだよね。1万時間の法則の一番の穴はそこだと思うんだよ。練習量こそが夢を叶えるための切符であるという定義は、故障者の出現率を全く無視している。努力をしすぎることは決して合理的じゃないんだよ。考えるべきは努力のクオリティなんだ。じゃあどうすればいいの？ 3 年かかることを1年でやろうと思ったら、質が多少下がっても努力の量を3倍にするしかないんだから。努力の量を3倍にするんじゃなくって、お前の人数を3倍にすればいいんだよ。
No! Wait!
だから、お前も含めて計3人いれば、いや、それじゃあちょっと心もとないか。じゃあ、計5人かな。そうすれば、ローテーションでうまく回していけるだろうし。漫画家っていう仕事は、基本的にアシスタントを含めて。
This is just like the Naruto training with his
個
clones.
人というよりは、一つの組織のメンバー、グループの一員として動くことになるわけだ。重要なのはチームワークなんだよね。
Does it work like that?
コミュニケーション能力が高くないとやっていけないって。つまり、お前にはアシスタントどころか、チームリーダーになれる資質があるかどうかも怪しいわけだけれど、いくら内気なお前でも、今のお前でも、相手が自分だったならいくらでもコミュニケーションを取れるだろう。だからアシスタントとして自分自身を4名準備すればいいんだ。
So, earlier with the entire Ougi meeting, Ougi said something that really was interesting, and I'm not sure because it's Ougi. I'm not sure how, obviously, how reliable and like how serious she was when she said that, but she said that she saw her with a school uniform, and I assumed that maybe Nadeko was actually, you know, trying out her school uniform in her room or like on her balcony or something, or like walking around with it, and Ougi saw her, and that's why she said it, and that's why she was embarrassed. But the way that Nadeko reacted, it seemed more so that there was a separate Nadeko who was wearing a school uniform. Now, I don't know if as I said, this is Ougi saying it, so I don't know how serious I'm supposed to be taking that, but it's something to consider, especially with this entire situation right now. Are you creating dolls of her? Shikigami of an exorcist, yeah. Mm. Wait, sorry, I know I'm pausing just after I paused. She said that Yozuru cannot walk on the ground. Was she never in the entire show up until this point touching the ground? Surely she was, right? I don't know, actually. I never paid attention to that. I know that obviously there are many times where Ononoki is carrying her, but was she never touching the ground at all? Oh my god. And where is she? I want to see her again. Is the experience split like that? Oh, like she did with the slug. Yeah. Oh, the thinker. Don't worry about it. Well, too bad. That's scary. I feel like this is a bad idea.
てもらえるかな。誰が何番目の戦国なでこなのか区別がつかなくなっちゃっても困るわけだし、最悪5人のうちどの戦国なでこが本物の戦国なでこかわからなくなったら大事じゃない。
Good preemptive measure.
真面目な話、そうやって代理人のはずの式神に存在を乗っ取られちゃう陰陽師の話もないじゃないから。
Yeah, this is once again a Naruto episode.
4人それぞれに個性をつけておいてくれる。じゃあ髪型で区別がつくようにしておこうかな。ひらめきました。過去の私ならば
That sounds like a bad idea. I don't know why. That sounds like a bad idea. Bangs mode.
見たことないやつだね。そうだね。バー
Mm.
ジョンの私は確か前髪
Oh.
とか呼ばれていたね。前髪を伸ばして顔を見られないようにして内気で一番おとなしかった頃の戦国なでこだね。じゃあ僕たちは大人でこと呼ぼう。これも見たことないな。カチューシャで前髪を上げてるおでこ丸だし。
Oh yeah, the feisty.
お前にあった。
Feisty Nadeko.
あれか。誰かさんに積極的にアプローチしてた頃の戦国なでこか。小びなでこと名付けよう。
Flirty. Okay.
これは見覚えがある。あれだ。荒らぎ月日に自慢の前髪。
Oh, this is the feisty one. This is the one that I was thinking about. Yeah, 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 yeah.
このヘアスタイルの時に教室でやっちゃったんだよね。それが原因で今学校に行けなくなっちゃってるんだ。
And then the last one's gonna be the god Nadeko.
一石ぶったんだったね。ではこのパッツンの戦国なでこは魚でこで決定だ。そこまで来たら4番目の戦国なでこのヘアスタイルは聞くまでもないね。
Yep.
あれしかない。神なでこと命名し。
Kami Nadeko.
じゃあ今なでこ。
Ima Nadeko.
次はその4人を全身含めて清書してくれる。そこは時間をかけてなるべく丁寧にね。心を込めて魂を入れて。これでこれからの私の1年が身体がそして私の将来が決まってしまうかもしれないと思うと嫌がおうでも気合が入りまくります。書きますよ。それで戦国
I don't like that.
ちゃったわけかい。レンを走らせちゃったわけかい。はっはー、愚かだね。
I see.
逃げ出した4人の私。
I see. So that's what happened. Okay.
試み自体は成功したわけだ。世継ぎちゃんにしたところで。
いや。
まさか4人全員が成功するとは思っていなかっただろうな。後でそう言ってた。ちなみにそのおののきちゃんはといえば、私とは逆方向へと4人の私を探している。
Unlimited rulebook.
4人の私を、4人のなでこを野放しにはできません。あはー、なでこなんて言うと、戦国ちゃんのかつての一人称を。
Yeah.
初対面ならそれは知らないはずでは。
Don't worry. Slip of the tongue.
今のはなかったことに。
Kamimashita.
いやいや、無力な僕にできることは道案内くらいさ。さっき偶然見かけたあなたの戦国茶を追うのがこの物語における僕のささやかな役割だよ。でも戦国ちゃん、どうして4人の戦国ちゃんは姿をくらましちゃったの？世継ぎちゃんに何らかの見落としがあったのかい？うっかりしてたんです。漫画家になるために努力するっていうのは現在の私のスタンスだったんです。だから昔の私を式神として召喚しても協力してくれるわけがなかったんです。一致団結など望むべくもありません。とんでもない修羅場が平和だった私の引きこもり現場で繰り広げられました。なんとか全員をなだめようとしましたけれど、そんな私が一番嫌われました。4人のなでこは私の原稿作業を惑星引きさえ手伝ってくれることなく試算するように逃走しました。逃避させたら日本一です。ちなみに窓から逃げたなでこもいます。
Whoa! That was sick.
今は一刻も早く神なでこを含む4人の私を捕らえなく
Kind of reminds me of the Mirror World. Yeah, this reminds me a lot of the Mirror World. Pokemon!
あちこちにいるってだけの話でしょ。頭に10万匹の蛇を飼っている女の子なんて街ぶらしてたら写真撮られまくりですよ。ま、そこは曲がりなりにも神様だからね。
一般人からお隠れになるための神業はお持ちになっておられることだろうね。むしろ心配すべきは他の3人の方かもしれないよ。もしもその3人が捕獲されるまでに問題行動を起こしていたら、その責任は全て今まで子が追っかぶらなきゃいけなくなるんだから。
That's actually
昔の私は何をするか分かるやつらです。はい、到着。僕が戦国ちゃんと接触事故を起こしかけた直前に制服姿の戦国ちゃんを目撃した場所はまさにここだよ。
扇さんが私を目撃した場所。そこは私のよく知る場所でし
Of
た。
course, where else would it be? School.
公立701中学校の校門前です。
What? That's it. There's no opening for this one. Wait. Wait. There's an opening. But it's like a separate one. Wait, maybe this one has the opening, the next one? It does one. It does have. I'll just check it out in the next episode. I don't know why the first one doesn't have the opening, but the second one does. Okay. Either way, I'm gonna check out the opening in the second one, so good to know. Wow, what an episode. What? It does remind me a lot of the Mirror World, doesn't it? Where, you know, all of the personalities, all of your repressed, I guess, personalities kind of coming out. Or not, sometimes it's just past personalities, right? Coming out, like with, we saw with Hanekawa, both the baby Hanekawa and also the black Hanekawa coming out in the Mirror World, or I guess in our world, but because, you know what I'm trying to say, the Mirror World versions of them, right? And this is kind of similar. It's different versions of Nadeko throughout her life, right? Coming out. Obviously, one of them being the god Nadeko, one of them being the feisty one, which basically the one during the explosion, I guess, of everything that she's been building up. One of them being the flirtatious one when she was trying to, you know, when she was like with Araragi and she was like in all sorts of different emotions. And the one before that, which is the meek Nadeko, which before she ended up, you know, changing or getting the first oddity and stuff like that, right? So, oh man. It's gonna be interesting to see how this is gonna affect everything. So, honestly, isn't this a huge, very, very, very overpowered duo? Isn't it? I feel like this duo is so overpowered, Ononoki and Nadeko. I feel like they could like do anything almost. If they can summon a god in God Nadeko like this, like, I don't know what the countermeasure is. I'm sure that there is some way to actually defeat it easily, and I'm sure she's not as insanely omnipotent as a god would be, but it still sounds very, very overpowered. We saw how strong of an oddity she was able to conjure up, right? Obviously, or they were able to conjure up because it's both of their powers together that are making this possible. It's an insane duo. So, yeah, I wonder what it's gonna be about. I feel like... wait, what was I gonna say? I feel like this was a bad idea, right? Because there's no guarantee, like, 4 people working on something doesn't mean that you're gonna be getting 4 times more experience as opposed to you working on it alone, right? I feel like if you work on something alone, you might... Honestly, I think it might even be kind of more so the opposite. I feel like if you're working on something alone, that might actually, because you're gonna be, you know, because you're gonna be responsible for so many different things, that might actually give you more experience in some things than working in a group, right? But there are things, obviously, in a group that, like they said, that would give you more experience, like, obviously, just talking to people, conversation skills and stuff like that. But I feel like, obviously, this is not how it works, unless it is genuinely just Naruto style, where once those clones disappear, she gets all of their experience as well. I don't think that's how it works. There's no, you know, there's no shortcut to hard work or to, I guess, to mastering something. And also, I mean, that is not really a, that's not really a proven method, right? The 10,000 hour metric is very, 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 it varies a lot. It's very inconsistent depending on, like, the person, depending on the skill that you're trying to master, depending on so many factors, right? How much effort. You can do something like for 10,000 hours and you're putting like 40% of your effort into it and you're still doing it. You can be putting 110% effort into it. You know, it's not a good metric. It's just a very, you know, ambiguous number that can change a lot. So, but yeah, even still, I do wonder what's gonna happen. So the entire family situation is the thing that I was gonna talk about. So the family basically wants her obviously to go back to finish middle school and then find work, right? Nadeko right now is afraid to go to school. And obviously, as Ononoki said, parents, when you're like, what, 13, 14, however old Nadeko is, when you're that young, they are in the right to be like, you need to go to school, right? But no, the way that they're going about it is horrible, right? I mean, am I crazy for saying that I think they should talk to her? They're not even trying to communicate with her. They're trying to make sure that she fulfills the expectations that they have for a daughter, right? They're not even trying to find out like why she isn't going to school, what's wrong, at least from what we're seeing, right? They're just trying to make sure that she fits in the mold of, oh yeah, this is our perfect daughter. She has this perfect qualifications. And yeah, they are in the right for wanting her to go to school, but they're not doing it in a way that would in any way, shape, or form be normal for a parent, right? So yeah, that's, I guess, my take on it. Yeah, it seems like there's gonna be at least another episode of this arc, so I'm excited to see what it's gonna be, what's gonna happen, right? Ougi is also back. I'm honestly, Jesus Christ, she's as confusing as ever, or he, or it, whatever. Ougi is as confusing as ever. Obviously we know why Ougi is here. I'm just gonna use Ougi because Jesus Christ. We know why Ougi is here is because obviously Araragi saved Ougi and stuff like that. So it makes sense that Ougi is here, but as confusing as ever, of course, because obviously Ougi knows everything that happened in the past because I'm gonna say she's been she has the memories. She's been slipping up at some point. She's like, oh, I did not plan to say that. She's been slipping up. She obviously knows she's playing a bit of a character again, but yeah, who knows what's going through her mind, man. I don't think it's gonna play too much of a role. I guess we'll see. Anyways, I'm gonna end this one here. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.